Hi, I'm Plod and you join me here in my trading hall here on the Truly Bedrock Season 6 server, where last time around we turned this villager into a cleric. And the reason we did that is because I want to get a whole load of bottles of enchanting out of them. But as you can see, I've already just bought a whole load, so that trade is all gone. And well, I just want more, many more, and that means we're going to need to get more clerics. Now all of my villagers have been traded with and locked in, so if I want more clerics, that means I need to get more villagers in here. And if I want more villagers, I've either got to kidnap them from somewhere or breed them up. Now some time ago I did set up a kind of a villager breeder in the village behind me. In fact, you can just about see the kind of muddy brown monstrosity that is that villager breeder. And we did have a big kind of water chute thing that brought the villagers from there over to here. Obviously we have destroyed that in the meantime, but hopefully we can still breed the villagers up, and then, well, we'll figure out how to bring them over here when we get to that bit. Over here at the breeder then, my two villagers are still there. My beetroot farm over here is full up, so I'm just going to harvest this and throw some food at them, and there's plenty of beds here, so hopefully they will start breeding and we'll get some baby villagers. Well, I've been here a few days now and these guys have got plenty of beds around them. I've made sure there's a workstation for one of them to connect to, not that that makes a difference for villager breeding, and they just don't seem to want to breed. They're passing food between each other a fair bit, but they're not actually breeding. I don't really know why. Well, these guys don't seem to want to breed at all, and I'm wondering if somehow they've managed to link to the village that we've got over there, the iron farm. So what I'm going to do is break all the beds, break the only workstation that's now in this village, which is this composter here, and move it all over to the other side of the village and see if that will help. There we go, they just needed moving over to this end of the village from over there, and as you can see we've got plenty of baby villagers now. Well, I've caught these two in a boat. Let's see if I can drag them all the way over to our base. Well, that didn't take too long and actually wasn't too painful, and now, as you can see, we've got 3 clerics. So I think I've got all the villagers I'm ever going to want in this farm. I say ever, that's quite a strong word, isn't it? But I think I've got everyone I want for now, and what I want to do next is to try and get their prices down. And to do that, I'm going to have to turn them all into zombies and then cure them. So for the curing, I'm going to need 21 golden apples and 21 arrows of weakness. Now, one of these guys over here will sell me the weakness arrows. Not that one, I think it must be this one. There he is, so he'll sell me 5 of those at a time. That's fairly easy, but I need to get those golden apples. Now these guys will sell me apples. I just need to make sure I've got enough gold. To make 21 golden apples, I'm going to need 168 gold ingots. That's just over 2.5 stacks, 2.6 stacks. So we're going to need quite a bit of gold. And right now I'm a fair way off of that, although I do have a stack and a bit of gold, and I do have a few golden apples already. We're going to need a bit more. I've just been doing a bit of mining in order to try and find some gold. I didn't really find any, but I did find lots of deep slate, obviously, and some diamonds. So I'm just going to pop that into my chest for now. That sounds like villagers getting hurt. And that was a zombie noise. Let's go and see what's going on. Uh-oh. Yeah, I removed a torch when I put these 3 clerics in, and that must have made it dark enough for zombies to spawn. So let's get that torch back in first of all. I mean, I was planning to get these guys turned into zombies fairly soon, but not quite yet. Never mind, eh? The good thing is I didn't get to the guys over this side, so we can still buy our arrows, and actually we can still make our apples, which we were in the middle of doing anyway, and actually this has probably done me a favour. Anyway, back to my hunt for gold, and one of the best places to mine for gold is going to be the mesa biome, and there happens to be one over here. Now, Moss Logic's base is over the other side of that mini mesa mountain in front of us, but hopefully he won't mind if we do a bit of mining from this side. So there's a likely looking cave entrance right here. Let's go and see what we can find. I wasn't expecting to find one of these. Yay, I defeated all the slimes, and there's my key. Oh, and there's a chicken over there. I'll have that as well. Why not? Brilliant. So I should be able to use that key to get some loot from the little loot box over there. Let's just grab that and get it ready. Pop it in here. Let's just see what we get. Trident, emeralds, arrows, more arrows. Oh, that was fun. I'll have to come back and do some more. Well, after a fair bit of mining in the mesa and a fair bit of smelting here in the super smelter, inside the giant furnace of course, I think we might have enough gold. Let's see. Well, I might have enough gold, but right now I don't have enough apples. Unfortunately, the zombies didn't get this far along the line, so we can buy some. That'll do nicely. And that's perfect. I've actually ended up with 31 golden apples, which I think is 10 more than I need. So now I need to buy those arrows of weakness. And I'm going to buy an ordinary bow as well, because I don't want to be hitting these guys with an enchanted bow and kill them all together. Now, when I started this episode, the thing I was most worried about was actually how I was going to get a zombie up here. And that doesn't seem to be much of a problem. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to set one of these guys free. I will try and capture him again afterwards in a boat so I can heal him up. But if that doesn't work, we can always kill him and get another villager to replace him. That's not a problem at all. So I'm just going to release this guy on the end. He seems pretty keen. Perfect, that's all of them. I'm the only living thing left here, so good, he's in the boat. And we're done. So now I just want to try and get this guy back in his place. He thinks he's a weaponsmith, he looks like a weaponsmith, but he would trade me all of the cleric trades. So, well done you. But ideally I want to get him back in with those other two. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay, so we are nearly all done with this. The one remaining thing is that we need to make sure everyone is linked to the correct workstations, because there's no iron golems coming down here. So what I've got to do is basically break all the workstations, place them down one at a time, and then place each one next to the villager that it links to. We're going to do that. It'll take a little while. I'll get that sorted. So now that these guys have all been zombified and cured, it means that they are really good for trading with. So now if I grab a bit of iron out of here like I was before, let's try and get a whole stack, there's one, and I go and see these guys, instead of them buying this off me for 4 ingots, well, this one's going to buy it off me for 2, but normally they'd be down to 1 ingot per emerald, so it's a lot cheaper for me to do that and get loads of XP from them. And of course that means I can buy a whole load of enchantment bottles for 1 emerald each. So now that I've got a really good way of getting a whole load of bottles of enchanting, what I want to do is make an XP shower. And the question I was asking myself was where I was going to put that, and originally I was going to put it down here because I do want to make a whole lot of new buildings around in this area and actually make this a whole kind of city, not just the one big building. So I was going to put it kind of maybe around here somewhere and make a little building around it, but actually it's going to be such a small build and actually quite a useful utility. I think it should go inside my base in here somewhere, and this place is still a bit of a mess really. I haven't done anything with it, but we do have these little alcoves that are part of the natural desert temple, and that's exactly what the kind of space I need for my shower. So I'm going to make it and bring it back when I'm done. Here we are then. This is what it looks like from the outside. Let me just show you the redstone that is going to operate it. I mean, what we're just going to do is go and stand on that pressure plate there, and then these two dispensers will chuck a load of the XP bottles at me, and we can load up those using these barrels here, just because, well, it's nicer to put them in barrels and straight into the dispensers. And what that pressure plate does is it's just the other side of here. There it is. And it has a sticky piston underneath this block that will push out this observer, causing these two observers to look at each other. Let's just put that block back and also that block back. So that that observer will then power this block and just loop, make the redstone flash, and that comes around and powers that dispenser, and then the same on the other side. So very, very simple. Just cover it all up, make it look kind of neat. Have I got one of those? Apparently I do. And let's just prove that it works. I've got one tool that needs a slight heal up. So let's pop in here. There we go. Yeah, it keeps going a little bit longer than it kind of needs to. Maybe I should make this a wooden pressure plate instead. That might fix that. Now I have also tackled the chest monster that was behind me. Look, there's only one double chest there now, and there were three. So I am gradually making progress on tidying this room up. I think what we'll do eventually is probably remove these central pillars and just make the whole place look a bit more open and tidy. We might make it a bit higher or bring the floor down or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'm going to leave it there for now. I know it's a bit of a shorter episode again, but I'm disappearing fairly soon. So if I don't get this episode out very soon, you won't see it for at least another week or two. So I'm going to get it out, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you when I come back. Take care now. Bye. Ooh, that was weird.